Thank you kindly, Mr. Conley. I wanted to introduce for the record, Mr. Chairman, United States District Court for the District of Columbia opinion in RNC versus Nancy Pelosi, rendered by Judge Tim Kelly, rejecting, obliterating, and demolishing every argument that we heard from Mr. Perry and Mr. Biggs. Their whole argument seems to be that Republicans were entitled to blow off subpoenas of the United States Congress that came from the January 6th committee because they didn't like the committee, they didn't think it was legitimate, they thought it was not validly authorized. The courts roundly and uniformly rejected those arguments. So now they purport to render the law for themselves. If they don't want to comply with the subpoena, they won't, and yet they would now hold other witnesses like Hunter Biden to a standard they won't accept for themselves. That's a remarkable thing. I started off this hearing, Mr. Chairman, by saying we believe that everybody should respond in good faith to the subpoenas of the United States Congress. Now, Mr. Biden asserts that he responded in good faith to what you repeatedly publicly asked him to do. And he's at least got an arguable, colorable claim that that's true. All the case law I've been able to read, Mr. Chairman, suggests that the committee is supposed to engage in good faith negotiation with witnesses, which is precisely what the January 6th committee did. The dates don't always work out. The times don't always work out. Some people want to assert a privilege. Some people don't. There are certain questions that are agreed to or not. So there are negotiations. But as I read at the beginning of this hearing—
Will the gentleman take a question?
But I will as soon as I get to that.
Excuse me, it's my time. Oh. Mr. Raskin.
Thank you, Mr. Conley. Why is the committee not engaged in that negotiation with Hunter Biden? I just don't understand that. I mean, he's a guy who appears to be 99% willing to do what you even asked him to do in the written subpoena, but he's given 100% good faith compliance with what you repeatedly publicly challenged him to do. So I don't understand why you won't meet with them and work it out, which is what every court in the land has said. The courts don't want to be involved in all this stuff, especially when you've got a guy like him who's overwhelmingly complying with what you're asking for, unlike all of these colleagues on the other side of the aisle who unfortunately 100% defied the subpoenas of the United States Congress, which is what they did. And I don't think those people should be able to vote on any subpoena relating to any witness in this committee until they render cooperation with the January 6th committee and come forth and tell us what they know. Now, there's another point that I need to make, and I want to thank Mr. Connolly for his indulgence here. Our good friend, the gentlelady from Georgia, referred to the murder of Ashley Babbitt. Well, the Department of Justice, the United States Attorney, and the U.S. Capitol Police Inspector General all rejected the idea that there was any
Point
murder.
of order, Mr. Chairman. Or inquiry.
There's no such thing.
There's never been a court hearing.
Mr. Chairman, we agreed—
Michael Byrd was never charged.
Reclaiming order here. The time is Mr. Conley's. I yield back to Mr. Conley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
But I will submit for the record a document entitled Department of Justice Closes Investigation into the Death of Ashley Babbitt. United States Capitol Police document USCP completes internal investigation into the January 6th officer-involved shooting. I think it was a scandal. It was a tragedy that people died because Donald Trump put them at risk, as many of the former insurrectionists are now willing to say publicly, that he said you got to go and you got to fight and fight like hell, or you will not have
time's expired,
anymore.
Mr. Conley's time's expired.
Mr.
Conley's time is expired. Mr. Conley's time is expired. Order.
I was trying to reclaim the time the gentlelady stole from me.
Oh, we stopped the clock. I watched it. I'm paying close attention. I do feel compelled to respond to this. We have engaged in good faith negotiations. We've offered every witness a narrow scope of topics, documents in advance. They can choose the date. Hunter Biden's lawyer has not engaged with the committee regarding Hunter Biden. Chair now recognizes Mr.
Did you respond to their letters to offer to cooperate, sir? Mr. Chairman, did you respond to the lawyer's offer to cooperate with the committee and meet with the committee?
Did you respond to that?